Batter up. Good morning, everybody. It's Rosie back in the bathroom again, back on the remodel. And we got a lot of stuff we want to get done this weekend, and we've had a lot more developing thoughts on the way we want things to look in the bathroom here. So I'm going to bring the camera in a second, and we're going to talk about some stuff that's changed and some stuff that we want to get done this weekend, okay? All right, first thing we want to do is, you see down here, I still need to fill this, so when I put the mortar bed in, there's going to be a lot of stability holding it on the edges. I don't want any possibility for it to crumble or anything, plus it gives that added final support for the wall there. You can see we have good fillage around the sides here now, and good blocking for putting up the side wall. I'll put a little piece of blocking over here and bring that up a bit. We're only going to take that up about 4 inches. It may or may not be necessary. The hard filling has been done. I want to continue going around and filling below, and I want to be careful where the the lateral braces may not even be for earthquake. I've seen it in some construction in other places, but mainly out west here. I want to infill on both sides of that to retain that, and then come around the side here. And then hopefully, time permitting, we got some other work to do too. I may want to frame out for the window. I've got the rough-in dimensions for that, for our 4 foot long by 1 foot wide window. And over here I need to do some cutting to reconfigure the medicine cabinet. We need to order a medicine cabinet, so it will now be centered over the sink here. We're going to do some framing over here, which will involve putting up another stud here and getting that all set in. So there is plenty to do today, guys. So let's get on our horse and get the rest of that blocking in for that shower, okay? Because tomorrow we want to put that mortar bed in and get that all set. Our first level of the shower pan floor, okay? All right. Oh, pop that on. Okay, guys, it's not the glamorous job today, like tiling and drywalling and actually looking like you're getting a lot of mortar bed and all that. But we've made good progress getting blocked around all the sides, as you can see there, respecting the earthquake lateral bracing there for the walls, which is pretty common out in these parts. And we have enough of a base blocking on the sides to easily support the builder's paper. Now I want to go ahead and I want to underfill. I'm actually thinking about laying a strip here against the side and having the first bed of mortar go up to the top of the strip to sort of better define the first bed of mortar. And then when we overlay the vinyl on top of that, it'll go over top of that strip and go up to the side there, up along the side, and give a lot more fill. But I'm going to try infilling first to see if I can keep everything perfectly flush all the way around here. So that would be my first choice. I'm going to go ahead and cut some blocking and see what I can do. I got the light on so you can see a little better here. You can see how I'm underfilling that. And I'm also putting glue down there too on the top and the bottom, and I'm buttering the end of it there on a good butt joint, because I want this to have a lot of stability here on the infill. So I only have a little bit more to do down at this end, and that's going to be a tough piece to be shaped because there's a 45-degree angle coming down back there. But you know, we'll get it done, and then we've got a really solid floor in here with nothing exposed to the outside. It's going to be perfect for supporting a great mortar bed. All right, guys, been having really good luck today getting stuff. Yeah, I got the Dick Weber approved carpal tunnel thing on. If you don't know who Dick Weber is, very famous Pro Bowler, right? Yeah, got all the blocking in underneath, and we've infilled the bottom, and it came in perfectly. Some of the wood, and I use this as stock for that. It's like a 3/4 by 6 footer, and some of it needed angle shaping through the saw. I had to cut that on like a 45-degree angle to underfill, because I couldn't get all the old wood out. but it worked perfectly. Cutting an angle just sort of fit it in. So that is all done, and now the next thing to do is we're going to start. I'm going to check the dimensions, going to check out some medicine cabinets and see if I don't want to be having a mortar bed then having to do the frame out over here. When the time comes for the window, I just want to be able to cut out where the frame is, and then on the outside back cut the siding a bit, about an inch, for the molding, trim molding that'll go around. So we're going to get that probably detailed next after I take a break here. I don't want to be, like I said, I don't want to be working in this area. Once I set that mortar bed, I want to be off of that area. You know, let that set up for a good 48 hours or so after we set that in tomorrow. So the more we do today, hey, look who it is. Huh? Are you giving a leg show here? Your headlights on today, so we're rolling along really. Yeah, they are. They're always on. So, pop, pop. Okay. So, good morning, Missy. So she's happy today, seeing the progress. We're all infilled underneath at the bottom there now. So we got. We'll have a perfect bed for the mortar to sit in there. It took some weird angle cuts and stuff, but we got it done.
Looks fantastic.
All right, so we're going to do some research on the window here, the 1x4. And we're going to pick our location for that, as well as figure out the medicine cabinet, rough framing ideas on that. And then get some more blocking, and we'll probably talk about some disability planning today too, in terms of where we want to have the blocking here. And the more the merrier in my mind. Like here for coming off the toilet and having something really good and solid to hold on to.
You don't have enough blocking, so you can always additionally even add.
You even add as need be. So we really want to be, as the Hawaiians say, akamai, and a little smart when it comes to using akamai, using that noodle a little bit. Like, what do they say in Germany? Huh?
Intelligence.
Yeah, intelligence, and use the noodle. Huh?
There
we go. All right, good deal. All right, everybody, you heard it from the Missy. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's the window we're going to be using. It's a 48 by 12 by 3 inch depth, which should be good for us. Even if it's inset a little bit on the inside, we have an overhang on the outside, and there's no chance of moisture entry over there, because that's on the south side of the house, the southeast corner, which is the most protected corner of the house. But it's important when you're framing, and just because it says 48 by 12, that doesn't mean it's the actual dimensions. A lot of people get confused when it's on that. You look at the dimensions of it, and we go to the, yeah, there it is there. We look at the product overview. And you can see that it's actually, the assembled width is 46.5 inches wide. And of course, we're going to have it up and down. And then the assembled height is 11.5. So what you want to always do is go to the specifications page, and it tells you over here that for the framing, and it's a composite material, it tells you the rough opening width, in our case this will be the height, is 47.25 inches. You can see here. And when it comes to the width, we're going to use the rough opening height of 11.75 inches. That way our window will fit in perfectly, and we can point that in and finish that off. Even if it's offset a little bit from the outside, that's the way I like it. And on the inside, in order to not have any leakage, the tile will be set flush to that. So when the time comes, we'll be setting that 3/4 of an inch out from the wall, which will allow for the 1/2 inch concrete backer board, as well as the tile finish on that, and that'll make a very flush finish. So you always have to be very careful when you're planning. Now, when coming in on the inside and looking at where the window is going to sit here, we'd like it as far over this way as possible. We don't want it all the way in the corner, but if we could have it starting here with the framing, then this would be perfect, because it would be sort of symmetrical looking as you're standing outside here looking in through the door. You have the side of the shower here, and then the window would be up and down there. which would be really good. The other thing to bear in mind is around the outside of the house, there's a skirt that goes around, a trim skirt around the outside. It separates the siding that's going this way from the up and down siding, the redwood siding. So I want to get this window high enough that I don't have to worry about cutting into the skirt down there, which means ideally we want the top of it to be no lower than this edge here, and ideally even about half the distance up across the height of the old window, which means it starts about here and then comfortably comes down 48 inches, and it's well clear of the skirt outside, which will make it a lot easier for putting in the window when the time comes. So I'm going to go ahead and do the layout. We're going to need to make a sort of a header up here so that a lot of the weight is not ever borne on the window, and in case of shifting or something like that, earthquakes, that window won't shatter. The weight of that will be carried by the header over top of it, and the king stud and the studs coming down to transferring that weight and those pressures to the floor. Okay guys, I'm back. Ooh, it's been a real rocker today here. I didn't want to pound any nails today, but I ended up having to do it. You can see I got the header pretty well put up for the window. And what took a long time framing this in was this stud over here had a severe bow in it. But by that I mean it had a curve in it that started at the top and came out, and you know, went right at the bottom, went left in the middle, went right at the top again. So I had to take that out by framing in another 2x4, and you can see I've added shims in here to correct the spacing problems with that and get that nice and level. There's no sense doing anything when you're doing framing work and all that. If you can't get it level, then just don't do it, because it's going to end up being a cluster mess. So I'm going to get the bottom framed up here with a few extra stud supports down below, and then move on to hopefully get to the medicine cabinet. But this will be rough framed in, so it'll be real easy when the time comes just to cut this out from the inside, and then back cut the siding about an inch around the window on the outside, and that'll allow us to close in the block window and encapsulate it within. I don't want it flush on the outside, I want it sort of inset there, so it'll allow us to put that in. So that problem's been rectified. Now it's time to finish off the framing here.